Dice Paper Roll acknowledges that it is recorded on the lands of the Yagra people.
And the Wurundjeri and Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation.
We pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
This is my realm. There is no escape. I decide who lives and who dies. I decide the fate of all Barovia.
Barovia sits, dark and silent, as if the land itself is holding its breath. No lights twinkle in windows, no breeze stirs the trees, no birds call, no animals move. All is still, wound up in anticipation for what might come next. Is it an ending? Or is it a new beginning? Only time will tell. The clouds boil, black and ominous. They coalesce together into the shape of the tentacled eyeball, the great old one.
No. Only I can tell. Your little heroes and villains fight and spit and cuss, clawing out their wretched existence like ants in the dirt. You can gamble any way you choose. Pick whomever you like as your winner. One thing above all is certain. The house always wins. I always win, and you will never be free.
Black cloud tendrils sweep down and pummel you, obscuring your vision until all you can see is veins of grey in the buffeting darkness. Veins of grey that spell DPR, Curse of Strahd.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you're listening to this. You have tuned in to DPR, Curse of Strahd, Season 2, Episode 1. Hooray! We're here.
Hooray!
In a fresh new season. 40 more of the best. Just for you. What has Strahd got hiding in his coffin? We'll find out in about 6 months.
As we go back to the start with all new characters.
I guess that if we fail the adventure, maybe that's a possibility. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's it. We just have to keep replaying
Yeah.
Curse of Strahd over and over until you win.
Well, if our souls are trapped in Barovia, what is? I don't know. Maybe we just play the same characters, like it's a video game, reset to the top, and have to complete it again. No, this is the final episode, perhaps, most likely the final episode, episode 40. I reckon 40. Is that right?
We think so. Yeah.
40. Episode 40 of
great.
Curse of Strahd. And we are doing it. We are DPR. My name is Emil, and I play Sonny Bono, the sentient sun sword that formerly belonged to Strahd and also his brother Chard. Sonny found himself inside a sword on a mantelpiece and then decided that he has to kill Strahd because, because Strahd's nasty and and that's just, look, don't examine my character too closely because it is razor thin. Speaking of razor thin characters, Dan, how are you going?
Wow. Fully thought that was coming my way then.
Well, I was tempted, but you've been there from the start, so
Yeah.
It could be any of us, let's be honest.
yeah, Ragyog's carrying a couple extra kegs. Let's not kid ourselves.
Hey.
I am Dan, and I am playing Sasha von Such. And to be frank, I did have to come up with this character very quickly, very briefly, in between 2 episodes, I think it was. I can't remember. I died, and then I had to really just come up with a character real quick before we jumped into the next episode. So yes, not a great deal of fleshing out was done, but I think over the journey, the Such family tree has expanded and is quite full.
And the family traits are consistent.
I wouldn't say so. I believe that Sasha von Such has not been quite as easily susceptible to Strahd's ways as her brother was mind controlled by him. Thank you very much, Benjamin. Yes, Sasha, she is a gnome wizard, with spells and stuff. Big fan of the Great Old One. Family history, all with the Great Old One. So, yeah, I think I'm excited. I'm excited about this last episode. I'm hoping it's the last one. It really should be. I'm sure you all are as well. Anyways, Jack, who are you? Who are you?
Who am I? Well, to begin with, I'm Jack. Who else am I? I'm other characters. I'm an experience. I'm beyond
I'd second that.
time and space. But most importantly, I play a fish. And that fish is Louise, who is a paladin.
Let me check my character sheet. A paladin. That's right.
Sorry, I'm also just watching you. We've all dressed up in little cosplay hints to our characters tonight, and you can jump on our socials to see that group shot. It's hard to take Jack seriously wearing his helmet.
Yeah, the colander on his head really adds to the gravitas of this intro.
Of the experience.
Yeah.
So just buying you some time to upload your character sheet there too, mate.
But his hair is so dry.
So dry. The moisture just runs right out of it.
That's right.
Yes, Louise feeling very good about herself. She's leading the charge on the back of Curly the horse. Yes, that Curly. Shout out to my peeps who listened to the earlier episodes. Yeah, you're welcome. How about you, Ben?
Yes, my name is Ben, and I play Ragyog, the Goblin Cleric of Lathander. Short of stature, little, like, basically Ragyog is still in all level 1 gear, like clothes, just shitty rags. Like the little kind of, if you imagine the water polo swimming caps and like matted gross hair and big round eyes. Has got a bit of a paunch, clammy hands. But he's got like real shiny amulet, the amulet of Ravenkind, and who can forget the bone of St. Andrel on the tower top.
What does the bone of St. Andrel actually look like, Ben?
It's just a massage ball with a lot of packing tape sticking it to the end of a telescopic pole. Yep. Yeah, it's a magic item and a half.
Expense spared. on this show.
This is a rare piece of loot, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
one
Ragyog
of
is
a
on top
kind.
of the tower, facing off against Strahd, and whatever else is about to be unleashed from whacking this crystal with the old bone. What's going to happen? Who knows? Lauren,
Yeah, who
welcome.
does
Hello.
know?
Do you
Who
know?
fucking knows anything anymore?
Mm.
My name's Lauren. I'm playing Irina Indirovich, the human sorceress, who's currently wielding the Sun Sword, I believe, and making her way down into the crypt. I think that's where we left it last time. Feeling pretty cool. She's got a bunch of she wears sort of noble robes, lots of velvet in jewel tones of.
We just did a bit of damage to old Strahd as well, right? Up in
Yeah, we did. We
Chard's
really
bedroom.
we were in Chard's bedroom. I maybe spent some bloody high level spells that did not quite work out. But that's all right because I am very powerful and you can't stop a bitch. So she's doing everything for all of her friends that have protected her along the way, her dead friends along the way. It's just, it's not about her anymore. It's about the people, and it's about the land and about the souls. Like Tatiana, the soul that's inside of her, Strahd's total obsession, level 5 clinger. She's
What spells does that come with? I don't know.
Did he
Just- oh, man.
multi-class? Wow.
Yeah, what's the class ability for a level 5 clinger? Social media proficiency.
Yeah. You roll an investigation check. So when you say smiley face, does that mean you're actually smiling or like what?
Right. really puts the crying and scrying. Hey,
Yeah, he's fucked, eh? So she's just super keen to kind of end him and take victory. And Sun Sword's probably gonna do that. But who knows? She might blank out and get one of her good flashbacks and be knocked out with something. She loves doing that as well.
we didn't pick up a stake, did we, on our way down to the crypt? I'm not sure. I can't remember.
I think we did. There was some
Yeah.
the bedposts.
Right on.
We picked up that. Yeah.
I think he picked up high stakes.
Mm.
I kind of feel like the Sun Sword makes a pretty
But-
good steak.
Yeah, Sunsword.
Yeah.
pretty
We
effective.
might. It might
Medium
just
rare.
be to just
Yeah.
I mean, it's silver, isn't it? Oh no,
It's-
it's
Well, it's
flames.
made of
Pure
energy.
radiant energy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm
It's a
pretty sure
lightsaber.
Strahd.
Good if you've dropped your keys. You can just hold it out.
Strahd doesn't like it. He won't like it no matter what. So fuck yeah, let's do this, Greg.
Thank you. My name is Greg Pickering. I am the Dungeon Master for Curse of Strahd, and I will be bringing you all your least favorite NPCs direct to your ear holes. Strahd von Zarovich,
Hooray!
the creepiest of villains. I'm very, very excited to do this final episode.
Me too, because
Final episode for 3 episodes.
the naming system we're using for these ones is going to start getting real confusing in our cloud storage.
Yeah, we're up
Oh
to
yeah.
final_final, which is a nod to
Yeah.
not to our art friends in the podcast. Okay, so
If you enjoy this and other data management discussions, then you should join us on Patreon, where we hidden all of those such things behind a paywall.
We're trialing a new podcast back there named Spreads. dots and other things.
Yeah, we also have a great Prezi tutorial if you're interested.
Yes.
So,
We go into the depths of spreadsheet software. And
Some would say we excel at it. All right.
There we go. Good
There we
one
go.
to round it out on.
that
Not
was
going to get any better.
beautiful.
Come on, let's move on.
That was excellent.
I love that Emil is the Clippy of the group. Continue.
You look like you're trying to make a podcast.
Do you need help?
yes. Yes, I
Actually,
do.
Clippy, yes.
No,
please.
no one ever thinks they need help with a podcast.
Yes, Clippy.
They do, but they don't ever think they do.
No thanks, Clippy. I'm a white male. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Everybody wants to hear my opinions.
Oh my god.
It's amazing.
It's not enough.
My best friend, who also has the same opinions of me. And guess what? We're kind of movie guys, you know.
Whoa.
We watch a lot of movies.
Speaking of other podcasts, I want to give a quick shout out to a podcast called Onirium, which is one of our listeners started their own D&D podcast. They're
Oh, hell yeah.
streaming on Twitch, and unfortunately for probably a significant proportion of our audience, it is in French. So
That
Perfect
Great.
for Louise, though. Is Louise going to
Yeah.
make a cameo? And-
oh, baby.
Yeah, she should.
That'd be hilarious.
She should.
I messaged one of them and was like, "Oh, how do you feel about French accents? I don't know if you've listened recently." But and they were like, "Oh no, we love them." So that was comforting. I suspect they haven't been listening.
Are they
for a few
really
weeks.
French?
they're like we
classic
love them.
French sarcasm, I reckon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like we love them. We're up to date on the episodes. When are you going to do one?
Ooh.
Well, on that note.
Sorry, blur. Okay.
Drink some beer.
So at the end of last episode, Strahd stepped through a misty portal above the top of the tallest tower in Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Ragyog, you had just cracked the heart crystal with the holy bone with a mighty baseball swing. You've hit a home run.
Babed roothed it.
Yeah, it's
Babed roofed it. It's where you throw a pig at it.
you've babed
Oh
it.
my god.
Oh, boy. Sounds better in French, trust me.
It's a bit lost in translation.
I think half our listeners might be about ready to tune into that spreadsheet podcast.
So the heart crystal is cracking light, red light spearing out of it, and as you look up at Strahd as he drops Sasha from his grip, and you watch her begin to plummet, the heart beside you begins to pulse stronger and stronger, and the cracks grow larger until the light shines all around you. Ragyog, what are you doing?
Has Sasha been dropped above the tower?
No.
I run
Off the
to catch
edge.
her. Slow motion. Oh, what? I run to the edge. And
Sasha, come to the light. Lathander
Sasha
will save you. I mean, I'll save you on his behalf.
reaches a hand out towards Ragyog. As she-
Yeah.
Ragyog leans over the edge, trying to catch her.
Give me a dexterity save, Ragyog.
Oh,
Heck yeah.
Oh, that's not good. That's a 6.
Amazing. Ragyog, you reach out, the two of you like reaching out through the void as
Catch
Sasha
me.
plummets past.
Catch me, what?
Exactly.
and I stand there and I go,
I always knew you'd fall for me one day.
I pull out the raven whistle.
All of the people that are storming the castle kind of applaud. They all stand and cheer.
Oh, yeah.
Good idea. That was a great one.
It really wasn't.
Pull the raven whistle out. I don't
Don't know if this is going to work again, but
It's not.
Dave-o.
Strahd
He
flies
doesn't know
down
that.
and smashes into you just as you place the whistle to your lips. What's your armor class?
My armor class is 17.
Excellent. Okay, so Strahd hits you. Strikes into your back, doing 44 points of damage as his claws rip into your back. What are you on now?
Far
Ragnarok?
out. Hey, 44, 15 hit points.
15.
Time for a heal.
Yeah, that's fucked. Okay.
He grabs you from behind, his claws digging into you. Your back is exposed. You're reaching out over the edge, the parapet of the tower, reaching out for Sasha as she plummets past. And as you look down, you see her shrinking as she disappears into the distance. This tower is on the outer edge of the castle, and it's a long drop down to the base of the castle, and then another 1,000 feet down to the rushing river far, far below. And as you watch your friend scream and plummet beneath, you pull out the whistle, and Strahd strikes into the back of you. Can you also, can you make another dexterity save for me, please?
Oh, 17.
The whistle flies out of your hand, but the little cord catches on your wrist as you are slammed into the parapet. It hangs down beneath you, and Strahd lifts you up into the air, throwing you high 10 feet into the air. You cartwheel as you flip above, and as you come back down, he grabs you by the throat and slams you into the crystal.
Jeez.
The broken up crystal?
Yeah, it's breaking up. So the light around you, the light from the crystal is emanating all around you. And as your head cracks back into the crystal behind, you can see a long spear of red light piercing up into the clouds above.
Strahd, let me go. The great old one. They're trying to kill you.
Yes, and now you have set him free further than before, you fool.
I thought that was like your heart thingy or something. My bad.
His hand grips tighter on your throat. It's your go. You're grappled.
While I was
You're
distracting him
grappled.
with my clever banter, am I fully grappled?
Yeah, fully.
I'm gonna.
fully
right.
grappled, brah.
I reach down with one hand though to my holy symbol and try to thrust it in his face as I cast Dawn.
Ooh.
Yes. Dawn is a 5th level evocation spell. The light of dawn shines down on a location specifically within range. So providing I can cast it, it is concentration spell. A ray of dawn golden sunlight fills the tower top, 30-foot radius and 40-foot high.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, give me a concentration for sure.
Come on, Ragyog. Come on.
Is there a concentration skill? No.
It's a,
Add Constitution.
yeah, Constitution.
But is 15.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, it's a level 5 spell, right?
Yeah.
So you, your hands are slippery with blood. Where his claws have dug into your shoulders, the blood is running hot down your arms. And as you grasp for the amulet that hangs around your neck, your fingers slip, and it's the holy symbol jangles against your chest, and you're just able to grasp it and whisper out the words through the iron vice-like grip around your neck. As
What are the magic words, Ragyog?
I thought you said Gregyog.
That's when the DM takes over for the for the player.
Let the light of dawn show you the way, you foul beast.
"Ah!" and I just shove it straight into his face.
The last is a little death gargle as the light begins to pinprick in your eyes. Your sight begins to fade and blackness begins to close in.
Yeah.
And this beam of dawn light shines down and you see it strike around Strahd. Does it do damage as well as the light?
It does 4d10 radiant damage.
My God, do I get a save on that?
Yeah, so it is a constitution of 16.
Yeah, what happens if I make that save?
Half as much damage on a successful save. A creature must also make the saving throw whenever it ends its turn in the cylinder. So,
Oh, I rolled a 1. But I just don't really feel like taking that damage, so I'll take that as a success, thanks. That's a legendary.
Oh, your lair action.
Legendary save, yeah.
So no damage at all.
Well, he saves, so he takes half.
Half.
Oh, okay. Well, and it's radiant too, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it would have doubled, but it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 22 points of damage.
Okay, the sunlight streams down around you both. The red light from the crystal behind you is still strong, but this dawn light surrounds you, fills the space, and you see Strahd's face just begin to burn and melt around his skull. Bits of muscle and begin to appear as his skin just starts to melt away, and that is the last thing that you see as the light winks out in your eyes, Ragyog. Sasha.
It's like when you've been in the club and it's all dark and the light's been all like colored and bright and shiny, and then you go outside and it's like, oh, sunlight.
I need to go.
Macca's run. Macca's run. Anyone? Macca's run.
Glad I got my sunglasses on.
Okay, Sasha, you are plummeting through the air. What are you doing? What are you gonna do?
So Sasha, as she falls and she sees the arm of Ragyog like just out of reach, and then it getting smaller and smaller, and she starts kind of like tumbling end over end, and out from underneath her blouse, a necklace comes out that has like a face with a lot of tentacles, and she grasps it and she prays to the great old one as she plummets. Great old one, as my family has served you, I need you now. I need to fly. And she casts fly on herself.
Roll a concentration check for me as you grip that amulet, that necklace around your neck, and say the prayer. The red light from the top of the tower pulses once upwards. The beam of light seems to ripple as it scores upwards into the clouds and bursts out reddish veins stretching out through the clouds as they begin to swirl and coalesce into a whirlpool above the tower, and they slowly start to reach down towards the crystal heart that sits on top.
I rolled in total a 5.
A total of 5?
So I'm spinning wildly out of control.
Yeah, okay. You're attempting to cast fly. You're really struggling to concentrate as the wind buffets you, and you hold against it, and you hear a whisper.
Come to me, my child.
And as you do, as you're plummeting, you pass the base of the castle. The rocky plinth that the castle sits on, rushing past you as the rocks and river below surge up to meet you, and the spell takes effect just above the water as you slam to a stop. The spray of the water kicking up and splashing your face.
It's a no-cord bungee.
All right, sick. I'm gonna start just rocketing back up towards And as hearing the whisper of the Great Old One, she says, "I willingly come to you," as she rises up towards the sky with the clouds of tentacle mass swirling above the vortex. And as she goes up, it's like black oily tentacles start to come out from underneath her, and her once kind of blue checkered dress, a black oil starts to seep through it and dye it black from underneath.
Yeah, the darkness spreads in your clothing, and from your back, long
Going
tentacles
Spider-Man.
start to burst out. So long tendrils
I can
of just
dance really good.
black cloud float behind you as you fly upwards. The tower, the rock face, the castle, all speeding past you as you rocket upwards, and this swirling mass of cloud reaching down towards the top of the tower. As it reaches down, tentacles, like tendrils of cloud, burst out from the side and reach down and slam into the side of the tower, loosing rocks and blocks of masonry. And as you fly up, they drop past you, showers of dust and mortar, as you plunge up through all of that to reach the top of the tower. And as you burst up over the tower, you see the side of Strahd holding Ragyog against the cracking crystal, as the last of the crystal's form gives way, and that burst of energy reaches up and the cloud reaches down to coalesce into the form of the Great Old One floating on the tower top.
Whoa.
As the Great Old One coalesces on the tower top, the image of the floating eyeball with tentacles, Strahd opens his eyes bulge in terror, and he steps backwards, dropping Ragyog to the ground. Ragyog, you still have 14 hit points, so you stumble to the ground. At the same time, the trapdoor bursts open right next to you, Ragyog, and two figures cloaked all in black scuttle out to aid their master. One all in leather, buckles adorn him. The other, small silver round glasses and a tall stovepipe hat.
I'm glad to see you two have finally been reunited.
It's my brothers.
Yes, all three Suchins together at last. I'm so happy.
I scuttle backwards and stand up and put distance between, like, everyone. With my back to the parapets, pretty much.
Is he terrified? Is he scared? What's going on?
Me, I'm wary. I want to get everyone in my vision and make sure that, I hold up my symbol, which has also still got the daylight spell, and I don't point it right at Hans and Bertrand, but I use it to ward them off because there's daylight still shining from it. So I don't point it right at them, but at their feet.
Okay, so you shine it at Bertrand and Hans. We used to be friends.
I was going to do it as well.
You do it, go.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I think it was a very cool echoing
Yes, it
effect that
was.
happened there. It was very cool. Ragyog, we used to be friends.
Yes, we
Come.
did. We did, Hans, and then you went and betrayed us. You let this monster here charm you, and now look at you. I mean, the
Oh,
leather probably
I'm-
suits you more than it did before, but
Oh, I'm sorry that the incredibly powerful vampire used his curse against me, and now you think that makes me a bad person.
no, I don't
Oh,
think. I'm not saying you're a bad person, just weak-willed. That's all. And just remember our friendship. I was
weak-willed.
Yes, I was good to you that one time.
Hans' eyes blaze red in the now the dawn light of the tower top, as the Great Old One begins to coalesce, its form becoming more tangible, Strahd turns around. As delightful as this is, my face is melting and I have more pressing matters. He runs forward. A shadowy mist doorway appears behind the breaking crystal. He collects it in both arms and dives through. And as he does, the red light that's shining up into the clouds disappears and the form of the Great Old One begins to dissipate around the tower top. But Hans, Bertrand, Sasha, and Ragyog remain.
All right, we can all get out of this together, friends. There's no need for anyone to die, particularly me and Sasha for the first time, but no need for anyone to die again.
You left me to die quite easily, didn't you? You don't even know what happened to me.
No, you just
Ragyog.
I thought you died in that carriage
You just
explosion.
abandoned me, like you abandoned all your friends.
Sensing a little bit of hostility here, Ragyog busts out a mass cure wounds on himself.
A mass cure wounds on himself?
Yeah. I would have done Beer Can of Hope as well, but that would cancel out my other. Oh, yes! 6 and a 6 and a 4. 16, 20 points of healing.
Fuck, I wish I had their character sheets in front of me right now, because I could have possibly, I don't know. Never mind.
Well, they're both a little distracted. The dawn light shining on the tower top is melting their skin, and they're pressed for time and short on words as they scuttle across the tower top, lurching towards you, Ragyog, fangs bared, the dawn light searing them. They're melting and sizzling as they rush across on all fours, leaping towards you with slavering fangs.
Don't make me do it.
Sasha.
Sasha with the black oily tentacles kind of like expanding out behind her, comes gliding down and lands on the top of the tower and places one hand on both of her brothers, onto Hans and Bertrand. So the three of them standing in front of Ragyog, and she says, "Hold on, my brothers. Let's have a chat."
They stop perfectly in place as you place your hands on them, and the black energy, the oily black energy, skims out over them, covering them and sinking in. And as it settles, their skin stops burning in the light.
Who are you and what have you done with Sasha?
Why, Ragyog, I am Sasha.
No,
I've always been Sasha.
no, it can't be true.
I am a Such and Such through and through. We must destroy Strahd.
Well, yes, I mean, I'm down with that bit. I'm not sure I'm totally comfortable with what's happening here, though.
Ragyog, I must be the new custodian of Barovia. I have to control him.
No,
I have to control the Great Old One.
you can't control the Great Old One, Sasha. Can't you see they lie? They do nothing but lie. They promised Strahd he could have Tatiana back, and he's been waiting for thousands of years. And he wants Strahd dead. You can't trust the Great Old One.
No, I trust the Great Old One with my life. He saved me. Time and time again. He saved all of us. Time and time again. We need to kill Strahd.
And then what's gonna happen?
To be honest, I don't know.
Black, oily tentacles, the same as Sasha's, begin to grow out of the back of Hans and Bertrand. As Ragyog, you look on in wide-eyed terror. Further below, in the depths of the castle, Louise leads the mob of peasants from all across Barovia through the halls, from battle to battle. You've brought this mob together and surged your way through the castle from room to room, slaying zombies and vampire spawn until you come into a large armory, a huge hall filled with suits of armor and weapons adorn the walls. There are tapestries of Strahd's great battles and
Suits and suits.
Suits and suits. Suits and suits and suits. Lots of black tentacle suits and suits, all up and down the sides of the room. There's all kinds of armor, weaponry, sparring items, practice dummies, all the good stuff. And as you, all that good
Look,
good
it
stuff.
is the good stuff.
The doors.
My friends, please get the good stuff and wear it, and we will win this war.
So good stuff. The mob surges forward and they start to grab items off the walls as a small figure clad all in full plate mail strides out from the other side of the room. So a door at the back opens. This short figure. The gait is like, you recognize it. You know this person. You can't see who they are, but the walk. There's something about this this person as they stride out. This is my people, and you have led them into evil with your red ways, fist lady.
What? Hang on a second. I recognize that voice.
Yeah, that's me, Baron Vargo Valakovich, your arch nemesis.
Wait, I thought you went by a different name. But that is okay. Are you in favor of the liberation of the proletariat, or are you with the Strahd character?
No, you could never stand against the might of the nobility. I have led these people, and my family has for many generations.
Right, well, it is the guillotine for you then. And,
Very good then. Come at me, bitch.
And he pulls out a huge flail, which is way bigger than he is, and it's really ornately made. It's a big two-handed handle, big chain with a big spike ball on the end, and he starts to swing it with remarkable ease. And he's standing there. He's like feet planted, little dude, full plate armor, swinging this flail around his head. It's pretty impressive. The way that he's swinging it, but as he is, there's a gust of wind.
oh, I think your armor is a wee bit gusty, Monsieur.
Valakovich.
He says as a misty doorway appears beside him. And Strahd steps through. Within his hands, his hands are clasped together. Strahd is smoking, like literally wisps of smoke are coming off him. He looks burnt and injured, and his hair is frazzled. His clothing is like seared in spots. There's burn marks in it. He looks way more disheveled than you've ever seen him, and he's holding a glowing red light between his hands, and as you watch, he crushes it down between his hands into a small red gem, which he slips into his pocket.
Getting a bit of sun or pulling off the Johnny Depp look, that is pretty cool.
Yes.
Strahd?
Yes, I hear the Johnny Depp look is right in right now. It's real popular.
Fit right in with Ellen DeGeneres and such, but true.
As if on cue, the doors on the side of the room burst open, and Ellen DeGeneres and George W. Bush scuttle out as well. A horde of zombies begin to shuffle into the room as Ellen and George W. Bush arm themselves with their favored weapons, which are
Cheesy smiles.
Ellen DeGeneres.
the good stuff.
Ellen DeGeneres arms herself with underpaid assistants. And George W. Bush arms himself
Some shitty painting.
with his mighty weapon, an overly powerful vice president, as they step forward.
Just wielding it in his hand.
Yes, he is. He's wielding a little
It's a
dick.
big puppet though. So he's like, hello.
Is it a dick on a chain?
Yeah, it's a dick. It's a chainy dick.
So he wields his Prince Albert.
Louise, your
Oui.
little adventure is over.
Well, that is a pity. I was quite good at it, I think.
You did okay, but, the natural order of power must reassert itself. If all of you peasants give up now, perhaps we will spare some of you. The mob behind you begins to rabble in fear.
Louise turns and gives a little look to the crowd around her, filled with fear and there's a guy missing an arm but still holding a spear. There's a woman like holding her leg that was chopped off, and
They all amputees? Or?
some of the it's been a hard battle.
It has been, yeah, they're hard
Charge!
battles to get
They all
here.
fall over.
Yeah.
I thought you might have had the Barovian Paralympic team joining the fight in the battle.
But many of them are still full-bodied and have come through the fight to this point. And she turns back to Strahd and says, "I'm sorry, I just cannot accept these terms. I think there is no amount of negotiations that you could hope to bargain for in this enterprise bargaining agreement. And I think we say no." And she casts Spirit Guardians,
Oh, cool.
which is at a final third level spell. I shouldn't say that.
Excellent.
Which basically you call forth spirits to protect you. They fit around you to a distance of 15 feet for the duration. If you're a good or neutral with spectral forms and blah blah blah, you don't need to do that. They're good, so they're radiant.
So your good, radiant communist school of fish
Yes.
swim into
Oh,
existence.
I thought it was gonna be like the ghosts of like Karl Marx.
I mean, yeah,
Lenin and
it's,
shit.
it's carp marks and some other puns,
Other fish-based humor.
communist puns. They form around the crowd, and the fish swim through all of them and launch themselves. I'm not clear on this spell whether or not it's like.
So the fish swim around you, the light emanating as they surround you yourself, but the light that they give off covers the crowd, lights up the faces around you, and and they are tired and battle weary. But as they see you step forward, you bring hope back into their eyes. And as that school of fish swims around you, the aura of strength that naturally just emanates from you now as you have come into your own ideology have just, you can see the people around you, they gather closer, and your two best lieutenants, Greg and Brad, sidle up. We're with you. We're with you, Louise. No matter what.
Yeah, we're with you. To the end. To the end, comrade.
Well, here we go. I don't know. Does it cast radiant damage? Do I roll that?
No. Well, you should roll it. Yes, please, actually. Roll the radiant damage as the crowd forms up around you. That light of courage, that aura, the school of fish, the bubbling effervescence of your magic around you. The whole crowd surges forwards with a roar.
George Bush is like, hey, well, if you're not with me, you're against me.
That's so good. The vampires and the Baron and Strahd all charge forward as the two groups surge to meet each other. Louise, you and Strahd meet in the center. You're riding Curly forwards.
Mm-hmm.
And you get the drop on Strahd.
Oh, fuck yeah. Well, I'm going to attack with a... what's it called? Smite? Is that it?
Yeah, roll to...
Yeah.
So you ride in... what weapon are you using?
I'm going to use the longsword for this one.
Are you floating your shield too?
Yeah.
This is that
that-
+2 longsword you picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In two hands?
Yes.
Okay, so because you've been fighting battles through the corridors, you're already all good to go. Your shield is floating around you, and the silver sword flashes in your hands as Curly charges forwards towards Strahd, sword upright.
Fuck yeah. 27 to hit.
Yes, the
Yes.
silvery sword arcs through the space. As the crowd roar and surge forward, their fear now forgotten. They plunge as around you. You see spears and shiny new halberds, the good stuff, plunge
take
into
this good stuff right in there.
plunge into George W. Bush and Lauren
Lauren DeGeneres.
Lauren DeGeneres, Ellen's.
Well, hey, everybody. How you going today?
That's Ellen's assistant.
Not so good? Oh, well, I guess I'll die.
Hey, they misunderestimated
But
me.
first, let's make fun of Cardi B, shall we?
You see them striking down the vampire spawn around you as the silver sword swings through the air. Okay, roll me all the damages.
I rolled a 10, which is the most I can do, plus 5, 15.
Great. And your smite damage, please.
Oh, fuck. How do I do that?
You roll more dice.
Spell slots deal 2d8 extra radiant damage. Wow. 5.
So what's the total?
So 20. And I guess if it's against Strahd, it's an extra 5 for radiant.
So 25 in total?
Yep.
So the sword swings through the air, the shimmering light of your holy power surrounding it, like a trail of effervescence as the sword swings through the air and strikes down into Strahd as he reaches up to claw at Curly.
No, you do not touch the horse.
The sword strikes in and Strahd staggers under the blow. It's mighty, but as it buries into his the base of his neck, into his clavicle, his body opens up, and as you draw the sword out, the effervescence bubbles out of the wound, but you immediately see it begin to knit together as he reaches up and slashes at Curly. Do you get any more attacks, or?
I think because he's come into the range of the spirit guardians as well.
Yep.
So I'll roll that for you. 12. And that's radiant damage as well. So I imagine that's...
Whee!
Yes. So the fish swim around him, nipping at him, slicing through him.
Yeah. And they're
Cool.
whispering, communism.
Fascist pig, fascist pig, fascist
Fascist pig. You're a fascist. Fucking fascist. Get the fuck out.
As he reaches up, they slice. You see the fish slicing through, and he's sort of reaching through this school that swirls around you, and the fish slice across his arm, and you see the wounds immediately begin to knit up, but there's so many fish swimming around him. They slice his cheek, they slice his arm, his chest, his clothes start to hang around him as they get ripped apart by the fish.
Oh, I can attack twice.
Yes, you can. Do you want to do that other one?
Yes. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Not as good that time. 11.
Okay, and they're hacking at him as he reaches up for Curly. You swing your blade down, and he catches it this time in his hand. Blood runs down his arm from gripping the silver blade, and a little
So it is a
sizzle,
hit?
a little sizzle of smoke comes out of his hand. He looks up at you. I don't have time for this. I've got to kill your friends. I'll be back later. He lets go of the sword and steps back, opening another shadowy doorway and stepping through as the combat grows around you. And a form swinging a huge mace steps forward. What's your armor class?
22. Yeah,
Wow.
22.
22.
Yeah.
Nice.
Must be that coriander on your head.
Colander.
Colander. I think it's the colander. They went through the kitchens and
The Baron steps forward, swinging the huge flail. The first one bounces off your shield, but the second one swings in and cracks Curly right on the knee, shattering Curly's knee. Curly goes down onto one, like down onto his knees in a horrible whinny of pain.
Aw.
Ah, fuck it, you stupid horse!
You have messed with the wrong horse this day, and you will pay for that, you stupid pig. And she launches forth, and stroking Curly on her way down. Good horsey. And launches in to attack this motherfucker. 14 to hit? Probably not.
No.
Can I go again?
Yes, 2 attacks.
17?
Yes, 17 hits. Yes.
Yeah.
And that it's two-handed. 7.
7 points. And
Underwhelming.
are you going to smite him?
Yeah, why not?
So he swings in, cracking Curly's leg. You leap across the back of Curly, give him a nice little pat on the neck as you fly through the air. Your first swing, the sword ricochets off the shoulder plate, but
And
you...
She follows the momentum of the first swing and comes back around, like sort of like a pirouette. And then as she comes back around, the smite kicks into effect, and she's like cast as a silhouette into a big red background. And she comes back around and just swings straight at the knees of this fuckhead.
Okay, how much damage did you do?
7 plus 12. So
Yes. Okay, 19 points of damage. You slice into his knees, cutting into the back of the leg plates, and he drops to the ground, screaming, "No, this is not supposed to be like this. I'm part of the ruling class. I'm part of the bourgeoisie. You can't do this to me."
And she turns to the crowd and says, "Would you like to do the honors?"
Absolutely. The the crowd
Not
leap-
you doing it too. It's all of us.
Give him the good stuff.
Give him the chair.
the crowd leaps on and just tear
Shotgun
him
his left
apart. They just grab his limbs. He's lifted up on top of the crowd in quite a horrific, bloody sight. He's just literally torn limb from limb by the crowd. And there's a spray of blood in the air, and a misty red haze fills the room.
And it spells DPR, Curse of Strahd.
No, it's just the spray of blood that accompanies any changing of ideology.
George Bush leans over to Ellen DeGeneres and says, I'm telling you, there's an enemy that would like to attack Americans. Again, there just is. That's the reality of the world. And I wish him all the very best. Washington, D.C., January 12th. 2009.
Is that an actual quote?
Yes.
Oh,
Wow.
that's amazing. Okay, so further deeper down in the castle,
The funny thing is, he actually said it to Ellen DeGeneres.
When he was a guest on her show.
At the baseball.
Well, here's a photo that we got of you as a little boy. Oh, wait. That was 2000.
Oh, no,
2000.
that's when I,
Right
when I was-
before you became
that's
a
when I was
man.
still the devil. Yeah, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, sorry about that.
Anyway, let's play a fun game.
Okay, yeah. How about a game of Uno? Yeah.
Careful, Danny. We might lose a few George Bush fans.
Oh, that's fine.
they're having
I'm
this
fine with that.
conversation as the crowd just stabs them with the good stuff repeatedly. Their bodies collapsing.
All right.
as-
Let's have a quick disco break, everybody. Come on your feet.
I'm the commander, see? I don't need to explain. I do not need to explain why I say things. That's the interesting thing about being the president. Maybe
Oh, how
somebody
good's the black eyed
needs to explain to me why they say something. I don't know. I'm confused.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me thrice, you don't get fooled again.
Oh my God, just wait. There's one. I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
What? That's the title of the episode.
Can coexist peacefully.
As his bowels are ripped from his body.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Okay. Oh, God. That's okay. Deeper in the castle, Irina walks down the stairs, led by the light of Sunny, the sun sword.
How's that for brightness? Up, down?
Maybe what does 40 look like? Okay, now 41.
Yep.
40 again.
40 again?
41.
Better, worse? Worse, 1 or 2? 1 or 2? 1, 2. 1 or 2?
Show me 2 again. Is there a
Two?
3?
Oh, there's a 3. That's my.
Oh, that's
what
perfect.
I call
Okay,
it
I can
mood.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my mood. That's my mood lighting.
Okay, great. Ugh. It's like a selfie light. I wish I had my camera right there.
Perfect mood lighting as you descend down the secret staircase behind the fireplace. It leads you down and down, further down into the castle than where you ended up with the bell, all the way down to it takes you it takes a long time to walk down this long winding staircase with nothing but the sword and the light around you. The mossy stones pass by, and it feels like forever. You're just hearing your own footsteps until you come to an opening. There's no door, just an opening. The doorway leads into a corridor, equally dark, but at the end you can see torches burning in sconces. As you follow the corridor down, you can feel the draft of open rooms on either side, but they are in total darkness. And the light, while it pierces in there, it doesn't reach the other side. These rooms are extremely large on the sides. You hear nothing except your own footsteps as you walk forward towards the flickering torchlight. And as you step forward,
You know, it's nice sometimes to just walk in silence. You know, you don't need to talk the whole time. It's cool.
Yeah, it's like kind of being together, but sort of being alone at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
These catacombs are super
Comfortable.
creepy.
Yeah, big too. Must have shaky foundations up there. It's a big cavity underneath the main hall, is all I mean. Structurally, it's a pretty good feat of engineering. Just thinking.
God.
Just thinking
I mean,
about
I
that.
just knew that Strahd would be into fracking. You know what I mean?
Ah, classic Strahd.
Classic Strahd. On we go.
An awkward silence stretches.
Yeah, good to just walk in silence and not.
Yeah, no, it's
not
good
feel the
to,
need fill the space with words or.
Oh, my shoelace is untied.
Oh yeah, no, you probably put me down for a little bit. That's probably good.
And the rabbit goes in the hole.
I miss tying shoes.
All right, on again.
Yep.
The awkward silence stretches longer, just adding to the tension of this moment as you walk down the corridor towards the flickering torchlight at the end.
I don't know whether I want to kill Strahd or kill myself right now.
You step out into a large chamber, the walls and ceiling all covered in old white bones.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, well, white men.
They might.
Same
they're
thing.
they're the bones from old white
The bones
men.
of old white men.
It's Strahd's one redeeming. The bones, they're ancient bones of fallen enemies. Some are hacked and broken, but they all have been placed together, stuck on the walls and ceiling. So this huge cavernous space is just absolutely covered in these dry old bones. Torches burn in stands on either side of the room, which casted a flickering light, a flickering glow, and the light of the sword fills the space and reflects off all of the white around you.
And that's at 72%. Feels pretty good to me.
I think the white's making a bit of a difference too.
Yeah, it's a kind of a harsh bounce back. Yeah, well.
It's incredibly dry in this room. There's almost no moisture in the air at all. And ahead of you, you hear the rattle of chains. You can see two bone coffins, elaborately carved and set up, both on separate daises at the back of the room. You've seen these before. One is Strahd's coffin, and the other has the carved likeness of Irina. But in front of them, two men hang from chains. They're bound by chains by their hands to the roof above, and you can see they've been stripped naked and beaten bloody. Their bodies are
God,
covered.
You can tell George W. Bush lives in this castle, can't you?
They've got
Yes, you can.
they're beaten bloody. They've got wounds all over them, dried and caked blood. There are massive bruises, and you can see their legs have been broken. Their arms are barely hanging in the sockets. Their heads hang low. One is larger than the other, but both have long hair. The larger one, long black hair, and the smaller, long blonde hair. And as you look, you notice defining features about them. The one with the long black hair, one arm, demonic in nature, much more muscled than the other. And the second, hanging, has a face with high cheekbones and an aquiline nose. Ismark,
Like an eagle.
Ismark and Izek hang chained to the ceiling. Between them, a small cage sits. Their feet just touch the ground next to this small cage. And there's a small figure scuttling around, clawing at the bars, ravenous, emaciated, starving. Mo throws herself at the bars, slavering fangs gnashing at the metal that surrounds her, desperate for the blood that drips from the two unconscious men that hang on either side.
Let me at him! Let me at him!
My God. Irina, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Use me to cut him down. Your brothers, I mean.
Her eyes kind of flicker between all the different, amazing, wonderful, stupendous options she has. Which one will be more torturous than the last? All right. Brothers first, then we'll deal with Mo, then we'll do Strahd, okay? That's plan A, B, and C, and D all together.
No arguments for me.
So he makes a launch to wield Sunny to cut the brothers down.
As you stride forward, the hall's quite long, so there's about 50 feet between you and the hanging figures in the cage. And as you step forward, a misty doorway appears just behind Mo's cage. Strahd steps through, a gaping wound on his shoulder. He's burnt, slashed in many places. His hair hangs ragged around him. His skin pink from freshly healing all around his scalp and face. He looks tired. Oh, Irina. You have put me to such trouble. I hoped it would not come to this. All I wanted was for you to love me. You have a choice. You can have the ones that you love still around you while you give yourself to me, or you can be alone in this world forever. Which will it be? He places his hand on the cage.
Sorry. Just repeat that again. So I had a plan A and a plan B and a plan C. And then you kind of were here, and that's had to shuffle things
Enough!
around a little bit.
Give yourself to me, and I will let your loved ones live. But if you do not, if you refuse me this final time, you'll watch your precious friend tear your brothers apart.
Oh, fuck. Right. I'm not a big fan of just the non-consent thing. I don't really want to give myself to Sunny. Sunny, is he fucking with me right now, or do you think we can actually take him?
Oh, we can take him.
I know, right? That's exactly what I was thinking. We're so
Look
in
at
sync.
him.
I don't know why we're so
Yeah,
awkward
right?
before.
I know. It's just acknowledging the moment, you know.
Yeah.
We got this. Look at him.
All right. Look
He's
at
half
him.
done.
Fine.
He's so done, right?
Toast.
You have made your choice. As he looks at you, a single blood tear runs down his cheek as he flexes and rips the iron cage out of the ground. It flicks up over his head and smashes into the bone wall behind him as Mo leaps into action, reaching up to the two bodies beside her. Okay, can you two please roll initiative for me? Irina and Sunny.
4.
10.
What do I get? 3.
Yay!
Winning.
Yay!
Nice.
We did good.
We D&D.
It's like a low-scoring grand final. Yay!
Yay!
All you gotta be is 1 point ahead of them.
That's it.
So Mo begins to leap up as you run forwards towards Strahd and your brothers. Mo, the cage reaches, flips up as you bring the sword up and start to charge forward. Sunny, you get the first go. So you cross the distance very quickly. You're able to cross the distance easily. So you're within striking distance.
Of
Sonny?
Strahd.
Yes.
The sword
So,
flashes.
so Strahd, this Mo is about to kill Ismark and Izek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The sword flashes in Irina's hands. It's not clear whether or not it's kind of it's moving or it's a blur. It's moving or if she's moving it, but it flashes and it comes up in a wide arc and tries to connect with Mo with a 28.
Oh, yes.
And I'm guessing she's undead at this point.
She is, yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right, that makes that. So that's 1d8 plus 9 radiant damage. So that was an 8 on the dice plus 9 radiant damage plus another 1d8 radiant damage against undead. So I'll do that right now. Roll. And it's another 4 points of radiant damage. So, yep.
The blade slashes into Mo as she reaches up, and it sizzles through her undead flesh like a hot knife through butter. The radiant,
My flesh, it's like a hot knife through butter.
the radiant energy slicing into her, and the light from the blade itself burning her as she cowers back before it. She looks up at you, Mo, with tears in her eyes as she.
Irina.
She looks up at Irina.
What do you
with
mean? We are
tears in her
so
eyes.
different.
She can't believe that you've struck her, even in this form.
She's still alive though. As Irina kind of looks at Mo, the sword still in motion comes back around and with a 13 probably misses, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Yep. So second attack misses. There you go.
The blade
Irina
swings
sees
around.
the flash of Mo and she falters and can't go through with that second swing.
Changes the direction. Yeah, cool.
Oh God, stupid friendship.
Mo scuttles back. The sunlight is melting her flesh, and you can see her face begin to soften and blister as the light burns her. But she looks at you, Irina. It's
Come
your
on.
go.
Let me eat your family.
Or you.
I'll just have a
you's
little bit. I
fine.
swear, I'll just have a little nibble and then I'll be on my way. I swear.
Taste.
No. Nope. She's where is everybody else?
So Ismark and Izek are either side of you. They're hanging from chains. They're both unconscious. Strahd is just behind Mo, and Mo is on the ground in front of you, cowering and burning.
Cool. Yeah, I want to cast Wall of Fire, which is a big between me and my brothers and Mo and Strahd.
Yeah, okay, amazing. You move your hands and a line of flame just ripples across the ground and sheets up into this huge curtain of flame, which separates
Sorry.
you from Strahd and Mo.
I just thought of a different thing to do, but that's all right. I'm not allowed.
The flames crackling give off light into the chamber, and you see the backs of your brothers begin to smoke due to the proximity of the flaming wall.
Can
as
I
the
get them down,
flames
please?
leap up into the air, you you feel safer with Strahd on the other side until he just walks straight through, his clothes catching fire, his gaze never leaving you as he walks implacably towards you. He reaches out. That's
Do I get to do
26 to hit. I think that hits.
I'm gonna fucking hit.
How many hit points do you have, Irina?
33.
Okay, you take 20 points of damage as his hand reaches out and grabs your wrist, your forearm, your right forearm that's clutching the sword. His hand snakes out and grips it and begins to squeeze. And that you can feel the bones in your arm grate together as you take 22 points of damage. Did I say that? 20?
You said.
You take 20 points of damage. Pain lances up your arm as his other hand strikes out towards you.
So the arm that's holding the sword is been crushed.
Pinned. Yeah.
And the other arm is
19 to hit.
hit.
He grabs you by the arm and pulls you forwards, his mouth opening, his fangs bared as he sinks them into your neck.
Oh, shit.
Don't do that.
You take 11 points of damage. As he begins to draw your life force out of you, you feel the blood begin to flow from your neck. It runs down your neck and your chest as he holds you in place. The light from the sword all around him, burning him. He's still standing in the wall of fire. Its flames licking up around him, melting his back and his hair as he bites into you, drinking your blood. Okay. Sunny.
Well, the arm's pinned, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, Sonny tries as hard as he can to wheel and spin and direct Irina's movements to stab with force and power into Strahd's body. Its proximity is making the sword glow, and the light increases until it's kind of flickering and pulsating, and it feels quite bright. It is quite bright, but the arm is pinned. And
do you want to give me an opposed strength check?
Yeah, my strong sword. That's pretty good. It's terrible. The dice roll looked good and then it wasn't. It's an 8.
I got an 8 as well. The sword, the arm, the muscles of the arm ripple as you take some control over Irina's arm, trying to force Strahd's arm back. A struggle ensues as you flick around uselessly
Just
on
mental
the edge
image
of the
of
arm.
Irina, Irina is neck akimbo, just back completely open, started strike, just taking his fill, he's getting the good stuff, right? And everything about her is just arcing backwards. She's gone floppy, she's going pale. All of her bones start to snap and crinkle, she's flexing her fingers. But the one hand is going crazy with the sword flailing around everywhere. That's just the mental image I have right now. I just
That's
thought I'd
the
give it to
one.
you.
That's good. But then, unable to strike out with the blade, he casts magic missile on Strahd. Shoots a magic missile at
I
Strahd.
want to
Yeah,
cast
yeah.
magic missile.
Go for it.
Yeah, go on then. Go. Oops. Okay. I'm guessing it's a dex to hit.
No,
Isn't it?
yeah, it's just a spell to hit. Yeah,
Okay.
Does like a missile come out of the side of the blade? Just
out of the pommel, surely.
yeah, out of the
Yeah.
Is it
absolutely.
Photon torpedoes.
It's like Magic Mike, so it's like it oozes out, gyrates over.
I'm about this.
All right. Roll, damn ya. Okay. +8. Okay. 18 + 8 is 26 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Great. And that's a total of 2 points of damage.
What? No.
Yeah, it's a one
The magic
level
missile
spell. First level
sears
spell, baby.
into Strahd as he chuckles and continues to drink Irina's blood. Irina, your eyes flicker as you near unconscious. You know that if he drinks you into unconsciousness again,
Then
that
the
you
next
won't
round's
come
on
back.
you.
You won't come back. And you feel that as your last thought, as blackness closes in around you. Strahd sheds another tear of blood as he drops your limp body to the ground. A pool of blood surrounds you as you lay in the center of his cold, dry crypt, finally within his power. Your body falls to the floor, and your hand falls to the ground, the sword hilt in its grasp. And as your hand hits the ground, your fingers move, and you gently caress the pommel.
And I come back to life. Ah!
Hey, I'm in here too. Ah! Is the hand free from Strahd's?
Yeah, he's dropped her.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I say that in my head internally. I become very quiet.
Hey, should we play possum for a bit? Like, just pretend to be dead, and then just when he's least expecting it, we'll pounce and I'll get him right in the back or something.
Yes, the old Harry Potter. Love that shit. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just open your left. Let's open our left eye just a little bit and have a look.
Okay, just a little crack. Mm-hmm. All right. Where is what's Strahd doing right now? Where is he right now? He's got his back to me. Yes.
Strahd turns away from you as the curtain of flame winks out. Well, I guess I have no use for any of you anymore. Pathetic. He looks down at Mo and lifts his foot and stamps down on her chest as she scrambles backwards, her chest cavity crumpling inwards. Blood splatters all around her as she falls into the true death.
I think now's our chance. Let's go.
All right.
Should we do a forward roll?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Ta-da.
Forward roll and
She
spring
forward
out
rolls.
of
She
With
forward rolls.
jerky
a
ass
bunch.
movements, this unconscious pale body like shuffles forward
Okay, we can do
and
this.
rolls forwards and
I
stands
really am
up.
very, very weak. Okay.
Irina, you're still like you can speak to Sunny in your mind, but you are very much unconscious and very much not in control of your body at this moment. It's only through the possession of the sword that you're able to move.
Damn, your hamstrings are loose. They are nice and flexible. I'm enjoying this. I tell you what.
What can I say? I do my squats.
You can tell. And Sonny, the blade wielded
Thick
by
thighs save lives.
Arena. Let's hope so. As they try to drive the sunsword right into Strahd's back as he turns, and you hear the crash.
So usually you would just take over a body and mind of a meat puppet, Sonny, right?
Yes.
So usually when you take over a body, you would take over the body and mind. But this time, because it is your friend, because you have had so many long and awkward silences together, you take over the body, but the mind remains strong. Irina is still riding there with you, and you have lived through countless meat puppets. You have carried them along, and you know how to carry a consciousness along. You wrap Irina up and shuffle her forwards to the forefront of her mind as you move the body forwards, the blade leaping out towards Strahd's back. Roll to attack.
29 to hit.
The sword plunges right through Strahd's back. Roll me damage.
Right on. Should I just make the second attack now?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Let's get it all together. And that's a 19 for the second attack.
That is a hit.
That is a hit.
Yeah.
Irina's
might as
mind
well-
is kind of
might-
swimming a little bit.
Let's
She's thinking
action
about her
surge
brothers.
and have another little attack. How about that?
She's thinking about Mo.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of
she's making an
swimmy.
attack for every one of the fallen friends. 13 doesn't hit the third time, but the fourth time is a 14. Also misses, but the first two are good.
It's beyond.
Okay. That's that is 9 points of radiant plus 7 points of regular plus another 4 points of regular, 9 points of radiant plus another.
You're going to give me the totals, right?
Sure. Yep. I definitely was.
This is for the spreadsheet podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want the radiant separately to the regular
Yeah.
or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
It's like
cool.
doing my taxes.
So 7. Hang on. One sec.
Carry the 4.
11 points of regular damage,
Yeah.
and then 40.
40.
Yep. 44 points of radiant damage.
Okay. You move Irina's body forwards, and your reluctance to take over means your movements are jerky. And the first slash, like you stab towards Strahd, and you miss. The body doesn't move. The hamstrings are too loose. The body doesn't move in the
Oopsie-daisy.
way that you expected. And as you draw the sword back, Strahd startles and turns to look at you, shock just painting his face. The blade reaches back, and as the light in the radiance in the blade, the light in the blade surges, that connection between the magic that the blade holds and Irina's soul sparks, and the blade ignites brighter than ever before. The light, Irina, you see at the end of the dark tunnel of unconsciousness. You begin to swim upwards towards it as Sunny directs the first strike straight through Strahd's chest. The sword brightens and glows, and flames leap outwards, his chest glowing with heat and radiance. The sword draws back, and black blood pours down Strahd's chest and out of his mouth as he coughs up chunks of blood. Irina, you surface as the sword is drawn back.
And as soon as Sunny feels the consciousness of Irina return, he relinquishes control and is now just a sword again.
A shocked breath fills your lungs as the sword reaches back, gripped in your hand.
Woo.
You swing forwards, the sword arcing through the air with brilliant light as it slices into Strahd's neck, severing his head from his body. Strahd,
Kiss it on the way down.
She just locks his eyes, and but she has to do it as the head is kind of sliding off the body. So she starts front and center. It's like, oh, there it goes. Oh, follow it down. Yes, and she just gets to watch him watch her. He's still got that shocked look on his face. He looks like a goddamn fool.
Looks like Tucker Carlson trying to understand people.
the head falls to the ground with a wet thump. But after the first bounce, the body and the head dissipate into smoke. It swirls up in front of you, Irina, as you stagger forward, wounded, bleeding, barely holding on to consciousness. The form swirls down into his coffin and coalesces. Laid back, his hands crossed across his chest, his eyes closed.
Oh, he looks like he's sleeping. And she walks over to the coffin and raises the sword into the air with both hands, directly above Strahd, and plunges it once again into him, into his crypt. This is for Barovia.
As you plunge the sword down, he sits up and grabs your wrist. He looks at you. Irina, I only wanted to love you. Kill me if it pleases you, but know this. If I die, you will unleash a darkness far worse than I into this world. My curse will be lifted, but it will be shared with every creature in existence. You need me. You all need me. His grip is weak, and the sword pushes slowly into his chest as he utters these last words. The light of the sword ripping through him.
We don't need you. We only need each other.
His body begins to glow, cracks forming all across his skin as he begins to burn up, break up into ash that floats on the air in front of you.
Oh, I get it now. You need us. You think you're so powerful. It's been us the whole time.
We did it.
We are more powerful than you.
We actually fucking did it. Oh my god, we did it! He's gone.
Far above the castle.
Do you want to go for smoothies or?
far
I thought you were going to
above
say
the
a
castle.
smoker because I could murder a Dari right now.
Yeah.
Far
You know
above
what?
the castle, the clouds above begin to dissipate. Light, late evening light, streams into Barovia for the first time in a millennia. The clouds part and light shines down on the tallest tower of Castle Ravenloft. Ragyog, you are backed against the parapet as this light strikes through the clouds and reaches you. The setting sun ahead of you in the distance, silhouetting Sasha, Hans, and Bertrand.
What is this?
Ragyog, you have to join me. We have to protect the realm.
Sasha, you feel the power of the Great Old One surge within you. You feel the full force of the Great Old One's gaze upon you. You know that Strahd is dead. You also know that this power, this boon of the Great Old One, is too much to bear alone.
I thought that we had to go get Strahd.
He's gone.
All right then, well,
The Great Old One is free
no.
unless we contain him. I can't do this alone.
I'm not going to be a servant of the Great Old One. They lie, Sasha. Find somebody else. You have to find somebody else. You don't understand. The Thunder offers hope and rebirth. We live in a world, a polytheistic world. You can have your god. I don't have to have the Great Old One.
But I thought we could do it together.
No, Sasha. You thought wrong.
Ragyal, it's me. You don't want to do it with me? We could control it all. We could hold him back.
But at what cost? What cost? Sasha,
I can't do it alone.
Rage fills you, Sasha. Rage that is not your own. Black, boiling rage that you know is part of this boon that you cannot control on your own. It fills you from the toes.
Well then, if you won't be a part of this, then maybe the three Suchin Sutures shall reign. And she places a hand onto Ragyog's chest, onto his heart, and pushes him.
And as I tip over backwards over the edge of the parapet, I say,
in the dawn, beauty reigns, and the way is clearer.
and I let myself tip and fall backwards. And fall towards the earth.
As Ragyog falls, the sun touches the valley of Barovia, bringing new light and a new beginning.
We did it. We done did it.
Ah, Greg.
Greg.
Greg, can you be the master of dungeon masters?
Yeah, Master's
was
more than
masterful.
dungeon, Greg. Bam.
I wish we could
Thank
submit
you.
that
You
for an
guys are
Emmy. For
amazing.
fuck's sake, right? Fuck.
I can't believe Ragyog just
You rolled with it.
rolled with it. That was
I
amazing.
was so surprised.
That was perfect.
Yeah,
What
it
else
was
am I going to
beautiful.
do? You've got there was
No, it was beautiful, man. It was
No,
was
that
really
was
wonderful.
so.
But that's
so
the thing, like,
good.
I did not want to at all.
Yeah.
But you're all booned up. There's nothing.
I'm so happy.
I was
that's the
looking at
ending.
you. I was looking at you going, he won't. Like, he's not going to. Ragyog would never do that.
Yeah, no way.
It's not
Wow.
Ragyog's
Couldn't kill her.
deal either. Yeah.
I couldn't kill
Yeah.
her. But I
Yeah.
thought, like, I for a split second on the way down, I thought about blowing the raven whistle again, but I think it's just better.
Nah, left
Ah.
ambiguous.
Said.
You never see
Yeah.
him fall, but also like
Yeah.
that's the decision. It was really nice. Really nice way to end it.
Yeah.
really
See,
nice.
my thing about it is like
You killed me.
I've
How's the guilt?
well, I feel it's just a recurrence. It's a repetition. So just as fucking Tatiana fell from the
Mm.
cliff,
I
Oh
did
my
think the same thing earlier.
and
Yeah.
now
Fuck.
the new ruler.
I had the same thought.
I
And
didn't
so
think that at all.
whether fucking Ragyog comes back in another form, you know, and
Whether his soul's
Um,
trapped in Barovia now.
Right.
and Sasha's constantly trying to find it. Like I felt like there was a really nice,
It's a nice
kind
symbiosis there.
yeah.
It's a nice
Oh,
cyclical-
So good.
Hey, this is the dissection where we.
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
sorry.
the
This is
game.
where we pat each other on the back.
Oh my god. I mean, what else are we gonna do? If we're gonna do it, it's gonna be this episode that we do it the most in.
Right.
Yeah.
Gee whiz,
Well,
we finished. We fucking finished.
we
That was
finally
really nice.
finished.
That was a really nice, really nicely collaboratively done, everyone.
Yeah, it was
I'm-
really good.
I'm proud of the kind of time and space we all gave each other and finding our own moments and not having to not I don't know, like there's a lot of pressure with a last episode in particular or a finale in particular to make it something extra and really squeeze something out of it. But I think we're all calm and like into
Mm.
letting it unfurl and having our moments in there and trying to keep lifting each other up when we had the opportunity. I thought there was a good amount of really great amount of picking up of offers and teamwork there. So I'm really feeling the warm and fuzzies on that one.
Yeah, it was. I think it was improved by the colander on my head.
Dude,
Really?
I
honestly,
think that
Most
I
things
have to
are.
say, yes, I was looking at
I'm
it.
proud that
a
you
lot.
kept that on the entire time.
You did. You wore it the whole game.
yeah.
It's very hot under
It's
here.
so much commitment.
Yeah.
It does look like a
got holes in it,
filter,
mate.
like
I
Like
guess.
Instagram.
I guess
one of those like little
Snapchat filters.
Snapchat filters. That's
I
like
guess-
colander on head. Like,
Oh, look out!
look out. That is what it looks like. Yeah.
It's one spin on a holy helmet, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, it's the helmet of the
Get out.
working class, isn't
Get
it?
out.
Yeah.
Are you satisfied with that, Greg?
I would like to reserve judgment until I've listened back to it. Thanks.
Yeah, fair.
Just initial feelings, like just
No, it feels good. It feels good. The cyclical
Gut
thing
gut
that
react.
Danny was talking about, the pushing off the edge,
Mm.
that Ragyog was the only character left from the start, and we leave him in that sort of spot. That Irina killed Strahd with Sunny, and with Sunny's help, you know, that she felt that pang of defeat at the last moment, and then with the help of her friends got up and fought on. All of the, you know, that Louise actually led a socialist revolution, all of those things.
Mhm.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels complete, but I always feel like at the end of a campaign, whenever I've done it, it just feels a bit anticlimactic afterwards. Like I feel so built up. And then I guess I'm always just sad at the end. I'm always sad to say goodbye to the story.
Well, I think we all do, and you more so than any of us, do so much thinking and imagining about where it might go, the possibilities, all the backstory, all the additional but so much world building that never gets to see the light of day, so it would feel, I imagine, at the end of a campaign, it's like there's so much left on the table, but they're all the foundations that build towards the castle of the podcast that we make. So,
it's like it's an iceberg.
Yeah,
you're
that's
never
right.
going to know the entire sort of thing. You just kind of get the little bit at the top that the Titanic crashes into. And I think actually that when Kate Winslet is doing that thing, when she's sitting on the mantelpiece,
and she pushes
so the mantelpiece is
Jack
Curse of
off
Strahd. We are Kate Winslet,
right?
And Greg is
Leo,
and we're holding him,
sacrificing himself,
freezing to death.
You're keeping me alive.
And we let go of him, and even though his hand is frozen as out, so we actually have to kind of like winch it
Peel
off,
him off.
and then and then you drop to the depths of the ocean.
Watch his
but
cold
you're all,
dead
the whole
corpse.
time you
Which
are
is
thinking,
also
are you
Queensland.
sure that Leo couldn't have also
fit
on the mantelpiece?
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that for us, Lauren. I feel like a really
That was
You're right,
beautiful,
no.
Lauren.
I feel like Kate Winslet kind of just does the shh on Jack's face. Just
Pushes him down.
pushes him down into
Okay,
the
I only
sand.
meant the iceberg bit. Everything else after that, I was not.
Yeah, the
No,
metaphor
it's
is
good.
many layers deep under the water.
yeah. Much like an
kind of
iceberg.
much like an iceberg.
Lettuce.
So,
Yeah.
Dan, tell us about that whole thing, because I feel like there was, we didn't the depths of your connection to the Great Old One. That was a big revelation in that episode.
Yeah, you guys have been scheming.
Not overly, a little bit of scheming, but it was
Like what?
more
What do you mean?
It was more so I would tell Greg ideas about the Such and Such family.
Yeah,
and-
we've been scheming since Bertrand died.
100%.
Yeah, fucking oath.
Uh,
Yeah,
What?
100%.
schemers.
not since Bertrand, but
Well,
just
a little bit. Yeah, since Hans.
we've been discussing about what the characters are, and I kind of feel like it very naturally built towards it, because the Great Old One is actually a part of the module, right?
Oh,
Is he in the story or not, or is that something
no,
that you just
not,
put in
not
there?
really.
What?
Yeah, right. See, I didn't know that.
Oh Christ!
Right.
Yeah,
Are they in the story?
there is like a thing. I think there's a bit of
What
it.
was supposed to happen? That's what I want to know.
You just kill
What is
Strahd and read
what
the
is a
book.
normal Curse of Strahd campaign?
Well, the
look
Great
like?
Old One isn't as active.
I was supposed to live.
The Great Old One isn't as active, and he's like, it's not the Great Old. I can't remember what it is, but it's a similar sort of idea.
It's,
That's
it's the
trapped
pretty
in the
good
Amber
youngish
Temple.
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
good
yeah.
middle-aged one.
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then-
there's slight modifications. But I didn't know you were going to do that. I didn't know you were going to do that sort of level of connection with the Great Old One, or
Take
To be
on
honest, neither did I.
the colors
kind
or the
of-
tentacles or any of that. I don't,
Yeah, the colors.
Oh, Danny,
and the
neither did you. You've been
No, the
talking
colours
for
and the
ages about how
tentacle-
you know exactly what you're going
the
to do.
colors and the tentacles.
I can't wait to get into tonight's game. I've got so many plans. Last week's dissection. I'm gonna fucking kill some people.
Okay, now
He
do
did
Danny
a-
as George Bush.
He didn't do any of his
Well,
plans.
If you're
though.
not with me, you're against me.
I didn't.
he was going to twin spell disintegrate you, Strahd, and it didn't
Oh,
happen. right?
so what's that Freudian slip, Greg? Schemers.
I actually thought about doing it to you at the end, but
Mm.
the whole what I was trying to say, yes, I had thought about doing the whole black tentacles and that sort of thing, and kind of getting more of the boon or more connected with him. But like when I did the voice, kind of doing a bit more Great Old One kind of voice, that was actually kind of just in the moment. I just like, oh, you know what? Now I've changed my
yeah.
clothes, so I kind of feel like, new clothes, new me, new voice. Like
Had a real Doc Ock
Mhm.
kind of vibe
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, definitely.
was-
And the flying up over the edge was super cool too, particularly after you'd just done it, Rag. Ben-
Yeah,
Ben York,
exactly.
and then he does it as like
yeah.
but
as well.
cooler. All right, whatever.
But there was always that tension between like
Absolutely,
the
there
great old
has-
one and Lathander, and
Yeah.
you know that great old one boon would always came at a cost, and you know that you got explained. What's his face? Explained to
Morty.
you, Mordenkainen explained to you about that someone needs to be here for the great old one to
Yeah.
keep him in check. So you knew all of that, like all of those pieces were already in place. It was just about that end point, how you dealt with it.
Yeah. I don't think Ragyog could, in good conscience, in order to control I probably should have role played this a bit more, but in order to control the great old one, be the one who says yes and then like is in charge of which souls go where and stop souls from going through to meet their gods. Like I don't think that's not for him.
I originally thought that he would, because you'd spoken about like the haunted house where you robbed people and like that part of the backstory, which I thought
Stealing a wallet's different from preventing a soul from reaching its,
maybe
ultimate
Lathander-
point taken.
Yep.
On that.
The stakes are a little bit higher.
There was room
Yes.
for like a push in that direction. You know
Wall
what
and
I mean?
Sasha sure
Who
gave it
asked
to
the
me.
question? Yeah, that's right.
Mm. Yeah, you got asked the question for way longer than Sasha or anyone else. You dealt with that for a long time, and it was great that you made that choice and like stuck with it, and it matched your character, and then you played it right to the end, right to being pushed off and not fighting back, being pushed off the top of the parapet.
It was very Gandhi-esque. Like it had a sort of, passive resistance type.
I do imagine
Thing.
Ragyog looking a little bit like Gandhi, just ever so slightly.
Yeah.
I had Death Ward cast on me.
You
By whom?
did too.
So
What does that mean?
when I hit
By
the ground,
yourself.
anything that reduces me to 0 hit points, I'm still on 1. I'm still alive.
Oh, no way.
And only people who have made it this far will know that.
Oh my god.
Well, that means there's a Curse
Amazing.
of Strahd Volume 2, so that's
Well,
good.
we'll have to do an epilogue anyway. So we'll have
Yeah.
to do a little
I was really
little
sad
outro
though
of
after
where all the characters go.
letting myself
maybe not.
fall there. I was like, oh,
I kind of really, yeah.
Maybe not.
I mean,
Maybe we'll
it's
just
great
leave
that
it.
you're alive, but it's great for your epilogue because you weren't going to have one. But
Unless
so-
unless the epilogue contains Captain Cloghard, I'm not sure I'm interested. Chris.
Maybe.
Absolutely it can. Captain Cloghard's soul's got to escape Barovia
That's
now.
true.
maybe I should cut that bit out of the dissection if we do an epilogue. So it's a nice surprise.
no, I
for
think that's
people.
great. I think that's great. I think that's great that you're still alive.
So good.
Oh,
I like
I
the
don't know.
ambiguity.
I like that. I liked that it ended without us
I like
knowing.
that.
Oh,
that.
yeah,
And
I like
sure.
the ambiguity. Yeah.
It's like a fucking Marvel movie at the end credits scene where you find out that
Yeah.
character actually didn't die.
Yeah,
had
yeah.
Death Ward on them
And then Samuel L. Jackson walks up as
Yeah,
fucking
right?
Nick Frost
Yeah.
and
Oh, wow, you
recruits
can-
him to.
Yeah. You kept my suspense for an
With
entire
Samuel L.
credit
Jackson's
sequence.
hand comes out of a grave.
Yeah.
And Samuel L. Jackson is also wearing a colander.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a mad pastafarian.
Yeah.
Man, I was looking at some of these fucking Bush quotes, and my God,
That
they're
was so much
good.
fun.
They're
It was
so
still managed to be a
good.
very fun episode,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I wasn't scary anymore. It was kind of just like cool, like get the job done and have fun along the way.
Get to the end. Yeah.
I really
It's
enjoyed
another-
Jack's kind of like last
Same.
interaction as well. I thought that was super fun.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I found
Yeah.
Louise really hard to write for.
Who?
Louise.
Oh, yeah.
Because like everyone else was like wound. This is something I feel kind of bad about actually. Everyone else is sort of bound up in the story and like was like tightly woven into it. And then Louise sort of rocked up and I just didn't I feel like I could have done more with
I
that.
think you did really well to tie her objective to the narrative. Like
Yeah. I
it was
thought so.
without her leading the people's revolt to storm the Bastille, storm the castle. There would have been no end game there. Like we wouldn't
I
have
think it
got it.
entwined quite nicely.
Yeah, it was through that resolution of your narrative arc there, Jack, that we managed to all get propelled into the castle and find
Really
our own.
enjoyed when you're
Yeah.
like, well, it is the guillotine for you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's such a good character. There's so much you can do with it.
Mm.
It's been
Yeah,
super fun.
I think Greg and I were talking about this a little while back. but-
Scheming, huh?
Oh my god, who's
Wow.
not been scheming?
Greg, are you just like one-on-oneing everyone but me?
How? I thought that you.
Nah.
I thought it was just me that you talked about tonight.
I don't need
Maybe
to one-on-one with you,
polyamorous, but
Emil.
I'm not like that in D&D. Okay.
I mean, this was a separate, unrelated conversation, but I was saying I think I made a mistake with Louise in that she'd already found her goal. She already knew what she was doing. Like, I think where D&D is strongest is where you discover the character along the way.
Mm.
And I think I should have had communism as a final goal for her, rather than she's already arrived at it and she kind of pushes that on to other people. And
No, I
she's trying to bring
disagree.
everyone up to the level that she's
Yeah.
already at, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
idea that everyone around her changes, and she is the one that is pushing her
Right.
ideal forward. Like that is
Yeah.
actually a very legitimate form of
Mm.
narrative as well. You
Agreed.
don't
For
have the
sure.
hero's journey everything for fuck's
No.
That's
sake.
true. That's true. That is true. And I actually think Greg did a masterful job with it, given the constraints that I placed upon the character. But
I feel like it could have been wound more into the Strahd part.
How
rather
might you
than
have done
the-
that though? Like, I mean, you must have racked your brains. Had you,
Yeah, I could. I was. Yeah,
But
I
also,
was
like,
pretty-
it doesn't all need to revolve around Strahd. Like,
Mm.
There's a there's a real
part of
tendency
it was
though.
changing the social structure of the place, and that's what
Mm.
she did.
yeah. And
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think I think also like
she?
I think also like
Here we go. Here we go. Someone's got the power voice. Here we go.
Fucking-
What a fucking wanker. Listen to this bloke. Eh?
Guess Danny's DMing our next campaign. It sounds ready.
I think it's kind of great that there is. I think it makes the world feel larger than when not everything is tied into exactly the same thing. I
Mm.
often have this frustration with television as well, where like,
all the loose ends are
ev-
tied up, and it's all
yeah, all loose ends are like, oh, and this related to that, and that relate. And
right. Remember the busker
as-
you saw in the street in episode 1? Well, it was
Yeah.
actually the main character's daughter. You find that out in episode 7 of season
That's
12.
what I was
Ha-ha.
going to say before, though. I think there
I
is.
love that shit.
Yeah.
I think there.
Yeah, me
I-
too. I'm a callback queen. I
I love
make
that.
the world small. I actually think that's actually a really interesting and good structural decision to
Yeah.
make.
yeah, I think. I mean, I
Yeah.
think.
It was intentional. It wasn't just me failing to fill in the background detail.
I think
it's a small world. That there was.
No, I think you made it feel like a larger world through that depth in it.
Oh,
And,
definitely.
and I think that's great. Like, I think, I'm really happy with the conclusion to Louise. I think that's fantastic that it finishes with her being bolstered by the broader community and handing back that power.
Empowering
And-
them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true. It was a subtle
Um,
move to but it speaks a lot about, how she's super, super duper powerful. She could have done that pretty much on her own.
Mm.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to. Real
Yeah.
gentle
Yeah, fucking
giant.
hell. She's so strong.
Oh yeah.
When she's fighting Strahd, I'm like, how much? You've done 50 points of damage to him?
She
And
walks over, flicks his nose, and it's like 16
Yeah.
points of damage.
Well,
And you've already
communism is
blown
very
all-
powerful.
You've already wasted your 3rd level spells on other stuff. I'm like, the smite slot's gone. I'm begging. Like, there's great thematic stuff that you do with it, and it's like
Yeah.
beautiful in the moment and colorful, but the min maxer in me is like, that's another 2d8 damage you could have been doing, my boy.
No, I
Yeah.
did
No.
enjoy her visual. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Mm.
really, really fun.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
really loved all of those. The effervescence when you did the
Yeah,
healing
that was so
circle
cool.
and the fish, and it was
Yeah.
cool. It was such a cool character.
Yeah.
Considering you didn't know what to play.
I want to see some art, Jack. Like, I really want to
Yeah.
see that.
Well, we'll see how we go.
Mm.
Oh, I think we should do like a DM after arc where we record an episode and we just go back and
Yeah.
reflect on the characters and how they all died.
Oh, Mo coming
Yeah.
back, I've completely forgotten about, and that was
Oh,
horrible.
jeez, that was
and
horrible.
really
That was
gut-wrenching.
That was
God
so
damn.
And it was like, I know that we killed Strahd and everything, but
Oh.
everything that happened up until that point was really
Just
fucked.
awful.
It was
Yeah.
really, really
Yeah.
fucked, and I hated it.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, "What
I'm-
the fuck
I'm
is
glad.
happening?"
Oh,
And I saw,
God.
but I mean, I think actually when I was dying, when Irina was dying, she had like all these points going. A part of me is just like, plot armor, plot armor, plot armor. I'm definitely supposed to kill him. Definitely supposed to kill him. It's definitely going to happen. But
Plot armor
yeah.
wears out
good-
after you've received 60 points of hit points of damage to it.
Yeah.
And there's no
Yeah,
one
gone.
around to like heal, and there's
Yeah,
no.
your face.
Oh,
your face
fuck.
as
I
you
could have
drop to the
healed you a
ground.
bit. I forgot about that. Yeah, jeez.
You could have
think in my
healed her.
mind-
Little bit,
was-
bit. Not much.
Oh my god!
Not
Even
much.
a point would have done it.
Yeah, I definitely could have healed you at more than a point. 1d10 plus something.
I had 2 hit points left.
yeah.
Okay.
Totally
I mean-
forgot about
Yeah, no,
I think I still like. I haven't felt like because I'm the beginner D&D player. I think a part of me thought that there was some kind of spell I was supposed to do.
The end narrative
Incorrect.
spell.
Incorrect. The yes, exactly. And
It's called
end
Deus Ex
narrative, like-
Machina.
yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
cast Deus Machina.
Only
that.
I
We
get
all
that one.
win and go to
Yeah.
the smoothies. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think actually, considering the finale has like sort of stretched out, I actually found that incredibly useful because it's almost like you did kind of get like a mental do-over each time. So it's like the first one when we all were like kind of really freaked out. You got a do-over and then we got another do-over. And it's almost, I got used to the pressure of like what each episode was going to bring. So it actually made it much easier for me to make decisions or to kind of be like, I just need to do something.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
once it was done, it was done. And to be fair, it was also really handy having a meal. Like the both of them, like, so we're doing this, right? And you're like, yes. I'm like, great.
That
Just
was
like
so
just a
beautiful.
little clippy in the corner that goes, it looks like you're
Yeah.
trying to kill Strahd.
That was so great. When you picked up Sunny, I know it was a couple of episodes ago, but it was way earlier than I expected. But it worked so beautifully from then. Like that first fumbling combat, and I was like, "Oh no, you were like, I'll roll the hit, you roll damage." I was like, "No, we can do both." And the way it
Yeah.
worked out and the way it flowed, I thought was really great.
Me too.
Yeah, and that link back to like the history of Tatiana and Chard's sword and the stealing your arcane power and that recurrent link and that link to your past which had drawn Strahd to you and created this like horrible life for you was the thing that gave you the strength to overcome him in
Absolutely.
the end
And
as
I think
well.
that was like, it's a similar Ragyog story is in like no amount of bargaining like is going to change my mind.
yeah
Even though he tried very hard and someone else could have been swayed. Like if it was Louise standing above him and he was starting to say that, then maybe, I don't know, something could have happened. But like, I don't know. I'm just saying from a character, it was like, it was never a doubt,
Yeah.
between Sunny and Arena, there is too much to kind of like,
Yeah. And
Yep.
that journey, I thought that journey of Irina throughout the story was fantastic. The discovery of the power and then the development of that and being haunted by Strahd at the start, and I just thought it was really cool.
Even being a
That-
character that Lauren was just playing kind of part time to then it becoming your character throughout
Yeah.
the game, like cool
Yeah,
as.
right.
Fun.
Super
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
Again,
really
I'm
great.
like, so in a regular game of Curse of Strahd, what happens?
the
nothing.
DM plays Irina the whole time,
Right.
and Irina's like a small part. Unless you draw the card.
No small
where
parts,
she's
Greg,
the
just small actors.
The
just saying.
person unless you draw the card where she's the one that helps you. I'm not even sure she is one of those cards. Basically, she's just like a damsel in distress, and
Yeah,
Strahd
right.
keeps trying to take her from the party, and the party have to
Gross.
protect her. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, and I read this Reddit thing about this guy who'd run Curse of Strahd, and he was like, "Oh, one time a player joined us, and she took over Irina, and it was like the best thing ever."
Yeah, what a much
And-
more empowering role
Yeah.
for Irina to
Yeah,
have
it's like
a, a woman actually play her rather
Yeah,
than
and it
be
was
a
like-
damsel in distress.
I know,
Yeah,
and,
that doesn't
and
appeal
the
at all.
arc, and
Yeah.
no, it's shitty, right? Like Curse of Strahd has a bunch of shitty elements that
Hmm.
we cut out or avoided, or
And then they
stepped
went and
over.
re-released. with
And they
that.
right after we
Wizards of the
started.
Coast, I hope you're not listening.
And
No,
we're
they
always before
re-released
the
it.
zeitgeist, wizards,
Yeah,
just so
they-
you know.
They
Yeah.
re-released it as we
Yeah.
were doing
Before you.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
and
What
they
happened in the
re-released it.
re-release? Sorry.
They cut all the shit out. They cut all the racism out. They cut all the
Oh, really?
yeah.
I was going to say there's something quite beautiful about the way that that positioning between Irina and Sunny, where it was a relationship of choice, and that was what ended up defeating Strahd, who was
Trying to force it.
and how you chose to pick up the sword, and usually Sunny would overwhelm his meat sack and and like
Name of his sex tape.
Yeah, I did enjoy, like, of all the meat sacks in the city, she had to walk into my pummel.
well it and I think there's something quite nice about that use of consent that ended up being the thing that was the antithesis of Strahd, who was entirely not about consent.
That is
I-
interesting.
Yeah,
And
like,
also, Tatiana dealing with that side of things as well when she was around Strahd.
Yeah. I liked that that kind of dichotomy. That's probably not the right word. Contrast. Yeah, I liked that
Juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition.
Oh,
That's the right
nice.
word. Yeah.
Nice, good use.
Dichotomy's right.
Love juxtaposition.
Dichotomy's the correct use.
Juxtaposition.
Juxtaposition.
I just
Dichotomy.
yeah. I just really enjoyed that aspect of it, where it was and it's interesting hearing that Irina usually is a character who's just a damsel in distress, and that we've taken that and then and just like turned that on its head through putting a character or an actor in that role, and then also the fact that it's that that agency that we place on it that is the thing that ends up defeating Strahd, and I think that's really quite beautiful if you think about it. Anyway,
Was it always going to be Irina that was going to kill Strahd in your mind, Greg, or was it kind of any of us, or
I wanted it to
did
be
that
Irina.
evolve? Yeah.
No, I wanted it to be Irina for sure. It wasn't until I wasn't sure that you were going, whether you were going to like playing Irina as well. I didn't want to, you sort of picked her up. It was at the start, it was like, oh, it's optional if you want to play this character, because you had Mo and you'd introduced Mo, and then when you were playing them both, Irina was definitely the second, the extra character that you did a bit of fill in for a long time. And at that point, I wasn't sure how it was going to progress. But as it got further on, I definitely wanted Irina to kill Strahd. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
right. Yeah. Well,
I-
I mean,
yeah.
I wouldn't have been able to see that happen until we'd killed off Mo and Irina. Well, when you gave me a character sheet, I'm like, oh, something's up. Yeah.
Yeah. And
What's this? A character sheet?
I should
that
look into this.
that sacrifice of Mo was like really like such a beautiful moment too.
Ah, that was
And,
awesome.
Like, yeah,
So much fun.
That's why it was so heartbreaking to see Mo again in this
Ah.
context. It was really
Again, fucking, it was just so devastating until it was finally dead. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Because
then I
there
was-
were hints. There were hints for a while about hands coming out of graves and that we would see them again. And I
It
felt
was
like
dug
it
up,
was
wasn't it?
obvious. Yeah, I felt like it was obvious that we were definitely going to see Such and Such, but Mo was still a surprise in that finale. I think, well, for me, and it felt like it was for all of us. But
I
like, we're all-
forgot.
yeah,
until and I'm like,
I forgot
oh,
about the
that's
dug
right.
up grave.
but I knew we were going to
Yeah.
see the Such and Suches, but I
You've
didn't
seen
think
them a
about
few
Mo.
times. Yeah, I never mentioned Mo. You saw them a few times, but I never ever mentioned
Yeah.
Mo.
Yeah.
No,
'Cause I
you
wanted
did
it.
because when we dropped the Were Raven back in the
Oh no,
Crystal
the
Skull-
grave and everything, but you never saw Mo. Like you
Yeah.
saw the Such and Suches in the vampire crowd. Like you
Mm.
saw the
Mm.
tall hat and the leather. Like you saw hints of them being around heaps,
Yeah,
but you didn't see hints apart from that. Those like
the empty grave.
Apart from the empty grave.
Mm.
You see,
I mean, I've known you long enough, Greg, to know that she's coming back at some point. I just totally
but I didn't
forgot
want
that-
to like remind you. Over and
no,
over
of course.
No,
again
I'm
in the
glad that you
same way.
buried it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that
Yeah.
that is really good.
you see that there's an old saying in Tennessee. I know it's in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that says, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me, you can't get fooled again."
And on that note, that's an end of our dissection for this evening. Thanks for joining us for this adventure, this vampire adventure, Curse of Strahd, exquisitely DM'd by Greg and performed by us, DPR. Join us on our next quest, which will be
In some time.
as yet
It's
to be determined.
it's going to be a goddamn good iceberg. Oh, I tell you.
Oh,
It's not
Go
far
deep.
away. We'll be playing a new quest very soon, so look forward to that.
I wonder what my next character will be.
Aside from that, happy rolling. Enjoy your D&D. Enjoy your
Yeah.
mates and have some fun. We always bloody well do. And thanks for coming on
If
the
you've-
journey with us.
If you've got burning questions that you want answered about this campaign, if we do that DM after arc, shoot them our way.
Yeah,
Yeah, more than
I've
happy
got
to
one
answer.
just from the rafters. What's the gem in Strahd's pocket? What happened to that?
Oh, true.
Oh, find out next time.
I guess we just got to leave some ends unwrapped up, just like the timeline in his castle. We'll just float out there.
Yeah.
Moving on.
What happened to Zuko's mom? Okay, none of you watch the Avatar, but some of the listeners
Some
will.
people will love that joke.
They will be like, "Yes, Lauren, yes,
Here
you
for
speak
it.
my language."
I've been Jack Crosby.
Yes,
I
you
mean,
have.
sorry, I've been Jack
have.
Kirby Crosby. Who have you been, Ben?
I've been Ben.
Yeah, okay. Dan.
I've been Lauren Bock. You can find me at Bockler on Instagram and Twitter, or just laurenbock.com. I also do another podcast called Elementary Springfield, when me and my fellow comedian Claire Sullivan recap The Simpsons. She's never seen it because she's from Tasmania.
Hey.
I'm Dan.
I also do stand up if you want to come and find me on any of the stages across Melbourne. I know that we're in lockdown at the moment, but I am supposed to be doing a show in Melbourne Fringe. I actually also have got on my website, laurenbock.com. You can go there and buy some of my old shows. My show that was actually nominated for the Golden Gibbo in 2019. Rock Out with Your Bock Out. You can go and get that on my website if you want to.
It's very funny.
Great show.
Amazing.
I like turtles.
My name's Emil. I was playing Greg for the course of that campaign, so I hope you enjoyed that.
Some of the best character acting you've seen.
And my name is Gerg. I was playing Emil. My name's Greg Pickering. I was the Dungeon Master. You can find me at Dammit Greg or Dammit Gerg on social media.
I also do a Dungeons and Dragons podcast called
Dice Paper Roll.
Dice Paper Roll. If you want to become a patron, you can do that. If you just go to patreon.com/.
Play her out, Greg. Come on.
Fuck off, Peter.
What? Why is there a hook here? What's going on? No, guys, please. I have so many other things to plug. Come on. I do burlesque as well.
Curtains. Yeah, Jack, get the curtain. Jack, get the curtain. Come on, Jack.